The Epistle to the Galatians, Introduction. The Apostle Paul, 1:1 and 5:2. This was the unanimous view of the early church, and even those modern critics who challenge the authorship of many of the New Testament books concede that Galatians is truly Pauline. During his first missionary journey, 46 through 48 AD, Paul, together with Barnabas, had the opportunity to establish several churches in the Roman province of Galatia. On his second trip, 49 through 52 AD, Paul and Silas visited them again. It wasn't long, however, before some Jewish Christians came in and began teaching that Gentile Christians needed to be circumcised and keep the law of Moses, similar to what happened in Antioch of Syria, cf. Acts 15:1. In an effort to persuade the Galatians, it appears the tactic was to discredit Paul as an apostle, challenge his concept of the gospel of Christ, and charge his doctrine with leading to loose living. Dating Galatians is affected by one's view of whether the churches of Galatia were located in the north-central part of Asia Minor, ethnic Galatia, or in the south-central part, the Roman province of Galatia. The North Galatia theory maintains that the churches were in the north and that Paul had not been there until the beginning of his third missionary journey, 54 to 55 AD, cf. Acts 18:23. This would require that Paul wrote his epistle sometime toward the end of that journey or afterward, such as around 57 to 58 AD or later. I subscribe to the South Galatia theory, which identifies the churches of Galatia as those established on Paul's first journey, cf. Acts 13:14 through 14:23. I also believe that the meeting described in Galatia 2:1 through 10 took place during the Jerusalem Conference, related in Acts 15:1 through 29. This view opens several possibilities for the place and time of writing. 1. Corinth in the period of Acts 18:1 through 17. 2. Antioch in the period of Acts 18:22. 3. Ephesus in the period covered by Acts 19:1 through 41. And 4. Macedonia or Achaia in the period of Acts 20:1 through 3. With such uncertainty, one cannot be dogmatic, but in view of Paul's lengthy stay in Ephesus, that would seem a likely possibility, and the date would be approximately AD 55. The churches in Galatia were being influenced by those who would pervert the gospel of Christ, 1:6 through 7, cf. 3:1. Known as Judaizing teachers, these individuals taught that Gentile Christians needed to be circumcised and keep the law of Moses, cf. Acts 15:1. Paul recognized that this doctrine would jeopardize the salvation of those souls who accepted it, cf. 5:4. Because the enemies of the true gospel were trying to support their case by undermining Paul's authority as an apostle of Christ, it was necessary to verify that he was truly an apostle, not from men nor through man, but through Jesus Christ and God the Father, 1:1. Therefore, Paul writes, to verify his apostleship and the gospel of justification by faith in Christ. Because of his outstanding defense of the gospel of Christ, in which we have freedom from sin and the law, this epistle has frequently been called the Magna Carta of Christian liberty. The Epistle to the Galatians, Introduction, the End.